Hi, Paul Gorney from Luxury Living in Chicago. We're going to look at the pros and cons of one of the most highly ranked suburbs on niche.com in the Chicago area, Lake Forest, Illinois. Lake Forest has an amazing variety of things that people like, and then I'm going to also point out the things that sometimes people don't like and decide to live somewhere else. So let's get into it a bit. Call, email, text if you have any questions at all. People reach out all the time with the smallest things. I'm here days, nights, weekends, whatever you need. One of the top selling people here for the last 30 years and can help with whatever you need for Lake Forest or the other suburbs. Also check out some of my other videos which will give you a good tour of Lake Forest, Lake Bluff. So Lake Forest, Illinois is a great place, highly regarded by many people. One of the best things about it is you have space. So it's about the same size as other suburbs, but just has a lot more land, space between homes, parks, dog parks, forest preserves, country clubs, golf courses, lots and lots of space. The attraction, or one of the challenges of Lake Forest, is it's further from the city, which these days is not as big a deal as it used to be, but still the train ride in, the drive in is much, a little bit more substantial than if you're living in to some of the closer suburbs. So the trade-offs, pros, cons, you get a lot of land with your home. You get a bigger home than you will closer to the city with a bigger yard. And then, if you like to golf, if you like to go to the club with a pool, with you like land, you like to, play in some sizable parks. I mean, where you can take your dog in Lake Forest is really, truly just amazing and beautiful. The open spaces that they have available to walk and kind of hike and get out with nature a bit is really substantial. One of the best areas in the Chicago area. Many of the people that want to live in Lake Forest will work close by. So there's some large companies. There's Abbott Laboratories, there's AbbVie, there's Walgreens. There's a lot of companies. There's Chicago Bears. I've helped a lot of employees, players, coaches, execs from the Chicago Bears with their housing, and many of them will live in Lake Forest or Lake Bluff, the adjoining suburb. So a lot of people that work close by love Lake Forest because they don't have to worry about the commute to the city. They get bigger houses, bigger lots, more for their money, a better value, and they get a ton of land and open space. So one thing Lake Forest is kind of catching up with a little bit, it's kind of going in a cycle, is they have some really great new restaurants coming in town. One restaurant from the city, La Colonial, is opening up in Lake Forest soon. A lot of buzz about that. A lot of people excited about it. Kind of will put Lake Forest, as one resident told me recently, back on the map, dining wise, even though there's plenty of good dining options now. So, some good things happening in Lake Forest, kind of on an upswing with some of the restaurants and dining and kind of the buzz. So, something else you want to be aware of in Lake Forest that is, pretty substantial is the beach. The Lake Forest beach is wonderful. You can take out boats, a beautiful beach. You can hang out. You can, have food down there. I mean, it's really, really a nice thing. On the other side of things, you can get to Wisconsin if you want very easily. A lot of the northern suburbs, lots of great stuff. Also, schools in Lake Forest, very highly ranked on niche.com and other sites. Very well, highly regarded. There's also some very highly regarded and highly ranked private schools. Lake Forest Academy, Woodlands Academy, which is a all-female school, and some really great schools that you don't have to live in Lake Forest for the private schools. A lot of people do, but neighboring suburbs, even from Chicago, people come for some of these schools. So very, very highly regarded. Another thing is there's the Deer Path Inn, which is a historic, beautiful place, has rooms to rent, restaurant, has a golf course, very beautiful, was recently purchased from a private individual or company by Abbott Laboratories. They've redid it. They have, just, it's a great place to go hang out and have a meal or a meeting. Um, One thing you want to be aware of in Lake Forest, though, is, if you want kind of like a tighter, closer knit, if you're coming from like the city, if you're coming from out of town and you kind of have a closer knit area, more like a grid-like pattern of streets, a tighter walked everything neighborhood. It's harder to find that in Lake Forest. It's, as I said, it's more spread out. So if you want a little bit more of that kind of a little bit more urban feel in your suburb, it's a little bit harder to find in Lake Forest. It's a little bit more traditional, spread apart suburbs, and it's a big suburb. So you have closer to the lake, and you have the downtown area on the east side, close to the lake. Let's take a close view of Lake Forest on the map here. So here you have the lake. So this is the eastern part, close to the lake of Lake Forest right here. You have Lake Forest High School here. And then the west side of Lake Forest, closer to the expressway here, here's Lake Forest Academy. You have the Middle Fork Savannah Forest Preserve, Deer Path Golf Course. You have a lot of green, a lot of beauty here away from the lake. And then as you go further west, there's not quite as much out there. It's a little bit more rural. I mean, you do have one of the high schools, you have Lake Forest Academy, you have, some malls that have Starbucks and things like that, but it's a different vibe. So, the east side, is a little bit more activity. The west side is, a little bit more quiet. So if you want more compact, some suburbs that I have videos of, like you have Wilmette, Winnetka, closer into the city. They have town centers that have more homes around them. The neighborhoods many times are a little bit more grid-like, tighter neighborhoods, houses closer together, a little bit different. So if you want that, you might want to look at those areas. But Lake Forest as a whole is ranked, as one of the best places, one of the best suburbs in Illinois by niche.com and other sites, and just has a lot of benefits. And again, Chicago Bears are there, big companies are there, great beach, beautiful town square with all kinds of kind of vibrant, healthy retail, restaurants, shopping. You have a train station right there, take you downtown or take you to Wisconsin or other northern suburbs. So hopefully this gives you an idea, like if Lake Forest is right for you, just reach out with kind of your personal situation, questions, text, email, anything you need. People do it all the time, help a lot of people coming into Lake Forest, Lake Bluff, and the surrounding areas. So if you need kind of like to look at it in a more micro sense, just reach out anytime. Lake. So the more you get closer to the lake, the homes are more expensive. The homes on the lake, can be anywhere from $5 to $20 million on a regular basis. Some of them are very historic homes.